Okay, magandang gabi everyone. Good evening and welcome back to season 5 of our weekly online talk show for inspiration, learning, etc. Hashtag Myron Kaming Advice. At nagbabalik po ang inyong lingkod, your corporate entertainer, your soft skills guru, and your buddy to success, Mentor Myron Sta para sa isa namang gabi, isang oras na kung saan tayo ay matutulungan ng ating mga guest resource people to become successful or better yet, more successful in life. There you go. Ayan, actually, kakadating-dating ko lang din kanina. I came from the celebration of the week-long anniversary. And of course, today, kanina, was the family day. I think it's still ongoing in the family day of my dear alma mater back in high school. No, kailangan kong batiin. Nakikita nyo naman, suot-suot pa rin namin ang aming Board of Trustees alumni shirt ng JSMJC Juan Sumulo Memorial Junior College Alumni Association. So sorry po sa mga co-officers ko, di ko na nagawang tapusin yung ating meeting afterwards tayong mag-oath taking, kasi kailangan ko pong umabol para sa aking 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. na show for tonight. And syempre, kailangan batiin ko muna lahat ng ating mga taga-subaybay, mga nanonood currently at manonood mamaya, and syempre makakapanood pa ng ating show pag ito ay ni-replay or pinlayback sa mga susunod na araw. Okay? So sana po kahit nasaan kayo ay masaya kayo. You're having a great Saturday evening with your family, with your relatives and your other loved ones so far. And if you believe that this should be shared with a lot of people, okay, mamaya bibigyan ko uli kayo ng preview kung ano ang ating pag-uusapan, Please help us share this around. Let's make this viral. Let's make this reach lots of people so that they too, okay, can apply all the wisdom we're going to learn from our resource person sa kanilang buhay o sa negosyo o sa trabaho. O teka, syempre, so much for that, Kailangan muna bago natin ipakilala ang ating guest resource person is i-remind ko muna kayo, ano ba ang pag-uusapan natin sa episode 4 ng ating hashtag Myron Kaming Advice. Eto, tingnan nyo. Ayan, nakita nyo na ba yon? Okay, so talagang kung ikaw ay sales head, manager, officer, supervisor, team leader ng sales department o kaya naman ikaw yung sales director, AVP, VP, ng sales division ng buong kumpanya or kahit na ikaw ay mismong owner or CEO ng inyong organization and you would like to know how you can improve or level up your sales leadership and management competencies, dapat nakatuto ka. Kaya again, let's please share this around, mapa Facebook, mapa LinkedIn, mapa Twitter, Instagram, ano pa ba, YouTube, okay? Let us try to touch the lives of people sa gabing ito. Kaya wag na natin patagalin ito, Sino ba? And I'm very lucky. It's my pleasure and honor to introduce to you our guest for tonight. Sino ba ang ating makakakwentuhan o kaya kwentawanan? Pwede rin, depende sa flow ng ating chit-chat or discussion sa gabing ito. Ang atin pong makakapanayam guest sa gabing ito ay walang iba kung hindi ang management or rather managing consultant ng IMS Learning and Consulting. And prior to putting up his own consultancy, he was a seasoned veteran sales leader of several multinational companies. And I'm very proud to share po sa inyong lahat na siya po ay aking kapwa top 100 Filipinos to follow for inspiration and learning in this year, or rather last year, 2023. So with happiness, okay, and excitement, it's my honor to introduce to you our guest resource person for tonight, si Sensei Ian Santos.
Hey, Myron.
There you go. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Ayan. Narinig naman ba tayo kanina, Anyways,
Yep.
Sana naririnig tayo, Okay, so yes, makakasama po natin sa gabing ito. Yan, welcome po sa ating hashtag Myron Kaming Advice, Sensei Ian Santos. Una-una sa lahat, Sensei Ian Santos, usually ang itatawag sa mga katulad nating mga training, speaking or consulting experts ay coach, di ba? Coach Ian Santos. Pero iniba mo ang iyong sarili. Bakit Sensei Ian Santos?
Good question, Myron, no? And I think I mentioned this before, no? So first of all, alam ko maraming mga certified coaches na meron tayo sa Philippines. So I want to sort of give them a recognition on that, no? Kasi using the title of coach has a lot of responsibility, di ba? So
It
sa
has.
akin, I love to teach, no? I love to train. And sensei is a Japanese word for teacher or
Yes.
master, but
True.
I wanna focus more on the teacher definition, not naman master, no. So just to differentiate myself, no. So I love to teach my craft, even in my corporate career, no. I was a couple of times national sales training manager for two multinational companies, no, Colgate, Palmolive, and Coca-Cola. So that's the reason behind the title.
And very impressive indeed, right? Kanina medyo napatingin ako, parang na-mute ko ata ang sarili ko. But just in case, sa mga unang minuto ng ating episode ay hindi nyo narinig ang inyong lingkod, right? So as I was saying, very impressive ang profile ng ating guest resource person, si Sensei Ian Santos. Kasi apart from now being the managing consultant of IMS Learning and Consulting, siya po ay veteran sales leader ng maraming multinational companies. And as I was saying, I'm very proud to say that he's a fellow top 100 Filipinos on LinkedIn to follow for inspiration and learning.
Congratulations, bro.
Grabe, solid to, solid. Okay, Coach Ian, Sensei Ian. I still have to get used to it, sorry.
No
Sensei
problem.
Ian, bago naging Sensei Ian, si Sensei Ian is, ano ba ang kanyang humble beginnings at papaano ka napunta sa sales? Go ahead.
Siguro the very first sales role I had, no, and or experience, I often share this with a lot of people, no. Back when I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, no, during summer, I lived in San Juan. I was born and raised in San Juan, no. I used to sell ice candy, no. I make them myself. I made them myself, no. Bought buko and stuff, no, the raw materials. And then I sold them, I remember, for 50
Hopefully you had
centavos.
chocolate back then, flavor. Sensei Ian,
Wala
favorite ko
pa,
na
wala pa.
favorite yan. Wala pa, okay.
Buko mabenta ng buko.
Buko, okay.
So 50 cents, I sold for 50 cents, so which was quite a sum that back that day, during that day. So baka mabuking na kung gaano ka edad natin, no? But that was my first experience of selling, and I love to do it, no. So I found out that was probably my calling at that early age. So when I
what made you sell at a very early age?
yeah, that was about 9-10 years old. I was 9 or 10 years old at that time, no.
Right, instead of like usually pag nasa ganung edad tayo, Sensei Ian is naglalaro tayo, di ba? Kasama mga
naglalaro din. Yeah, naglalaro din naman tayo, but on the side, di ba? Hindi naman, it's not the whole that you play naman eh. So you find something to keep you busy during the summer. So yun yung ginawa ko nung during that time, no. And later on in my career, when I started, getting into sales roles, doon ko talaga na-hone yung skills ko. But I would say it all started with selling ice candy during my summer days when I was young.
Right. And then yung bang education experience mo, meron ding kinalaman, may direct affinity din sa selling or sales?
Kasi I did my selling myself, no. I put up, actually bond paper lang yun sa labas ng gate namin, no? And I actually did the selling myself, no.
Meron kagad promotion, no?
So, talking to people who were passing by, my neighbors, etc. Until they found out that I was selling. So later on, sila na yung kumakatok.
Ayos. Teka, na-curious tuloy ako, no? Napalaki mo ba yung yung pagtitinda na iyon?
Hindi naman, lang, very very small lang yung aking market. Pero sabi ko, mukhang magandang gawing career to in the future.
Correct. And then, nakikurious ako, no? So, at a very young age, na-expose ka na agad sa selling. And you said earlier, you loved it. Parang, ito yung calling mo, yung passion mo, right? So, when you, let's say, entered college, when you went to college, nag-take up ka ba ng course na related sa selling just to further hone your skills?
Yes, I actually took up business administration, no, in UP. And medyo related dyan sa marketing and sales, no.
Correct.
So and that's what I really wanted to pursue. Not necessarily planning to be an entrepreneur, but more on going the corporate route, no. But we all know the sales is the lifeblood of any organization.
Yes,
So
it
you have
is.
to sell, you have to get the revenue for the organization to survive. So I felt that that was a very important, part of the organization.
Natutuwa ako, Sensei, ano, kasi talagang bata ka pa lang, 9 to 10 years old, talagang, kumbaga, nakaplano na kung anong direction, ruta mong pupuntahan, ano? Kasi intentional, nag-take up ka ng sales-related na course back in college. And then, yung bang, when you graduated from college ba, mga sales-related jobs talaga ang mga una mong exposure?
Not really, no. Coming from the school that I studied in, I wanted the managerial role kagad, no. So I actually was my first job was actually at Jollibee as a manager for 2 years, no. But after that, yon sales related role na, no. I remember I used to sell automotive tires, no, for cars, buses, and I called on distributors to sell. So yun talaga hardcore selling. That was my first hardcore selling job. And I loved it, no? I was single. I could travel anywhere in the Philippines and go through the challenges of selling.
Correct. Yun ang maganda sa sales talaga, no? Kasi you have to really cover as many potential leads or prospects as you can. Kaya talagang mamamasyal ka sa iba't ibang lugar, no? Kumbaga, para masasabi mo workation Oo, mahirap, pero kung saan ka naman napupunta, di ba?
Right. It's part of the experience, no? Especially for the, if you're single and you're in sales, you can focus really on the job, no? But it's not an easy job, no? And later on, when I share my secrets on how to manage a sales team successfully, sales is not for everybody, no? Kasi sabi lang, oy, buti pa to, nasa sales, may kotse, may commission, etc. But there's a lot of, blood, sweat, tears, and heartaches that come along with the career, di ba? And I think you know what I mean because you were from sales before then.
Right. So, maraming for sure ang nakikurious. Maybe they're already in sales or they're interested in trying out sales or they're from one department, they want to be transferred to sales. So pag may nagtanong, Sensei Ian, ano ba ang kailangan mga competencies and characteristics na meron na dapat sa isang tao pagpapasukin mo ang sales?
Siguro two characteristics come to mind. No? Number one, you have to be a competitive person. No, you have to love challenges, di ba? Na hindi ka natatakot sa malaking sales target, na-challenge ka, number one. Kasi that's one of the main things that sort of does not attract or do not attract other people from other departments. Ay, laki ng target dyan, hirap niyan, stress.
Oh.
So if you're competitive, you look at it differently. Oh, that's a big challenge for me. I wanna be there, di ba?
Right.
And second, di ba? Go ahead.
Challenge to, opportunity to, di ba? Bring it on. Parang ganun ba? Tama ba yan, Sensei?
Oo, dapat ganyan ang mindset mo kung talagang pang sales ka, di ba? Oh, and then secondly, kailangan resilient ka. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of rejections and failures in the sales career. And if you're not able to, pick yourself up and recover, you don't know how to self-motivate, mahirapan ka mag-succeed sa isang sales career. Yeah.
Correct. In relation to competitiveness and resiliency, Sensei Ian, and alam naman natin, sabi nga natin, tao lang tayo, di ba? Hindi perpekto, meron tayong times na down, up, right? Nasasaktan din, napapahiya, etc. So I'm just curious, no? When you were building your career in selling, how were you managing stress and pressure?
Kasi 'di ba pag sa sales ka, so number one, kailangan you have to have find time for your personal stuff, no? Meaning to say, you have to find time to recharge, no? Especially during weekends kasi halimbawa nasa sales ka the whole week, going around different places, a lot of stress, no? Kailangan medyo mag-recharge ka during the weekend. Some time for yourself, for your loved ones, or for your hobby. I used to play basketball a lot, so that was my sort of stress reliever, no? So
nice.
you have to have
position mo dati sa basketball, Sensei?
Ha?
Ano position mo sa basketball?
Shooting guard. Shooting guard.
guard.
Hindi ako masyado magaling magdala ng bola, but I can shoot it.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to have time to recharge kasi you have to prepare for the next battle for the next week, di ba? So ganun sa
Correct.
sales para mag-survive ka. Plus,
Yes.
you also have to, learn how to move on right away from failures. Kasi a lot of people they stay too long in the past failures, past rejections and that hinders them from moving forward. So
Exactly.
that's something that I wanna also share with our
Right.
sales viewers, no, people in sales or maybe not in sales pa rin, uh,
Correct.
just in general. Diba?
Ang ganda nun, Sensei Ian, ano? Kumbaga, tama yung sinasabi na if you're dwelling on the past, right? It's hard for you to move on. Kumbaga, talagang hindi ka makaget over, in other words, di ba?
Oo. Oo. I always keep this in mind, no? Yung merong, di bang, phrase or sentence that's called, "This too shall pass." Everything in life passes, whether it's good times or bad times. So, kung ang mindset mo
Correct.
ganun lang, then you can move forward better or faster.
That's right, no? Kumbaga, okay lang na pag na-reject ka, na-embarrass ka, na-fail ka, okay lang na umiyak. Pero wag kang
Oh,
mananatiling umiiyak. Dapat move on ka lang ng move on. Ang maganda,
oh,
Sensei Ian, no? Let me know if tama ito, no? Na yung mga failures mo sa nakaraan, gamitin mo na lang learnings to move forward. Tama ba yun, Sensei?
exactly. No? Kasi you're right din kanina, Myron, you mentioned, kung kailangan mo umiyak and reflect on it, okay lang yon. Let it out, no? Sumama loob mo, that's fine. But go to the next prospect, go to the next potential customer. Ganun lang tayo sa sales, di ba? You have to move on. Ika nga.
Correct. O guys, sa mga nanonood dyan, ng mga nasa sales or gusto pumasok ng sales, tandaan natin yan, sabi ni Sensei Ian, dapat mayroon tayong competitive spirit at resilient, right? Yung mga failures, natural lang, pero dapat mag-move on agad. Go on to the next prospect. Naalala ko tuloy, Sensei Ian, alam mo yun, yung parang mantra nating mga nasa sales na, so what next? Di ba?
Oh, so what next? Diba sabi mo nga, use your failures as learnings. Diba?
Correct.
You fail once, for example, don't repeat it. Kasi if you repeat it, that's a problem na eh. Use the failure as a stepping stone to succeed naman the next time around, di ba?
Exactly. Isa pang question na gusto kong itanong sa iyo, Sensei Ian, ano bang pinagkaiba ng laruan or larangan or yung kumbaga yung playing field sa sales ngayon na 2024 na versus nung time na you were going up the corporate ladder in your sales experience? Meron ka ba nakita anong panahon namin ganito? Ngayon ganito na. Go ahead, Sensei.
I think ang pinaka-obvious is yung the technology has changed a lot. Doon sa mga medyo Gen Xers natin dito, maalala niyo pa yung mga pocket bell easy call before. Ngayon may cellphone na. So, di ba? So it's a lot easier to medyo two-edged sword yan, double-edged sword yan eh. It's a lot easier now to, talk to or call your customers or buyers. On the other hand, mas madali na kayong matawagan ng mga boss nyo, di ba? So, depends on how you look at it. Also, in terms of mga data, no? It's readily available. Kung may SAP organization ninyo, you could easily see how you're doing in sales, ano ba yung mga sa kababang customers behind or areas behind. And you can use that to improve your prospecting or your work plan for the week, etc. Doing sales report is now all on computers. I remember we used to do manual sales report every end of the day. Doon tayo napupuyat. But now, there's a lot of things that it can be done on the computer. So, in essence, you have more time to sell. If you use your time well, use it more for selling than for admin. So, yun yung
Exactly.
mga
Kumbaga,
napansin.
nowadays, Sensei Ian, yung admin or technical part ng sales job mo, kumbaga pwede na kang i-automate and there's also AI. Naalala ko tuloy, Sensei Ian, di ba, pag B2B ang service ang binebenta mo, andyan si LinkedIn, di ba?
Correct.
Pero
Correct.
noong mga unang panahon, di ba, kumbaga, wala naman LinkedIn eh. Kung talaga kikilalanin mo, magdo-door to door ka, sino ba yung mga decision makers dito, di ba? Tama ba yun, Sensei?
Right. Actually, that's a good point, Myron. No? And LinkedIn kasi, in the Philippines, there's about 11 million Filipinos on LinkedIn. But majority of them use LinkedIn to look for jobs. So to
Correct.
your point, if you're, for example, in the consulting business or in sales, you could easily see sino ba yung mga decision makers ng mga companies, no? So it's gonna be easier for you to target and direct. Of course, it's always better if you have referrals, to someone to refer you para mas madali ka makapasok. But it's easier now to identify who are the decision makers that you need to talk to in the companies you want to target.
Correct. And of course, that's only on the service side, Sensei Ian, ano? Iba din ang kumbaga galawan kapag ang pinag-uusapan produkto, no? Sa mga kumbaga nasa sales ngayon, isa sa mga talagang pumapasok na challenges sa kanila. Kumbaga, halimbawa, napunta ka sa isang sales job na ang hirap ibenta. Kumbaga, hindi siya need, hindi siya necessity. Sensei Ian, paano pag ang produktong binibenta ko kumbaga optional lang, hindi naman pangangailangan para sa ibang tao? Paano ko kaya i-dispatch to? Ang hirap na maibenta nito.
Well, now you have e-commerce, Myron, di ba? So if you know how to use social media, for example, and now TikTok is the place to be, especially for the new generation, di ba? The Gen Zers na nga to, Gen Z na hindi na millennials pinag-usapan If you know how to use TikTok, and that's the power of TikTok, you could sell over TikTok. Diba? Either you personally or through an influencer. Or you could still use Facebook, which is still very widely used in the Philippines. You could, create your own e-com store on Lazada or Shopee. So it's actually a lot easier for you to sell a product that's not known if you know how to use social media during these days.
Exactly. Ganda ng point mo, Sensei Ian. No? Ngunit subalit tatapwat. Ito, mayroon na naman magko-comment sa atin, Sensei Ian. Sasabihin nung iba na syempre hindi pa sila nagre-retire, 'di ba? Nasa sales job pa rin sila. Yung iba nasa technical sales, hindi sila Gen Z, hindi sila millennials. Naku, Sensei Ian, yung mga sinasabi mo, medyo may edad na ako, nasa Gen X category ako. Parang hirap ng aralin yan sa amin. Mga mas bata lang na salespeople yan. Anong masabi mo doon, Sensei Ian?
That's where I call that's where I think reverse coaching or mentoring will be very helpful. And I think you're familiar with this, diba? Oftentimes we get mentoring from older or more experienced people like you, Mentor Myron, diba? Pero as Gen Xers, like I'm a Gen Xer, I don't know if you are a Gen Xer, baka mas younger ka sa akin. We need to be open, no? We need to, be open to for the younger generation to teach us technology.
Yes.
Like for example, I have a 12-year-old son who's more digital savvy than I am. So I have to have him help me, learn these new games, etc. Or even this mga new applications. But I'm willing and open to learn from them because they know better. So you have to have an open mind and also have to have the humility to ask for help and coaching and mentoring from the younger generation.
Tama nga, sabi nga nila, Sensei Ian nasa sales job ka, meron kang target na kailangan mong i-meet or exceed. So talagang dapat you are looking for reasons or ways, not looking for excuses or alibis. Diba? Kung gusto mo, maraming paraan. Kung ayaw mo, it's either maraming dahilan o ikaw mismo ang pumipigil sa sarili mo. Kasi meron nga sabi, you cannot teach old dogs new tricks daw. Sensei Ian, we disagree. Diba?
Agree.
All right. And of course, before tayo tumungo sa second part, Sensei Ian, na ito mismo, maraming nag-aabang dito, how to lead successful sales organizations. I couldn't help but notice na for me, you're still young Sensei Ian Pero nakita ko yung program mo, grabe, ang bilis niyang umangat, ang bilis niyang, hindi lang yung pag-angat sa isang kumpanya yung you to be hired as a sales leader in several organizations. And naku-curious ako paano ba nagawa ng isang Sensei Ian yon? And of course, with that reputation, maa-assume mo na itong si Sensei Ian, nung siya ay sales leader sa mga kumpanyang ito, ang galing siguro nito mag-lead ng successful sales organizations. Lagi siguro namimit na i-exceed ang targets ng kanyang division. So, interested kaming malaman lahat yan na Sensei Ian Santos, but pag-uusapan natin yan sa ating pagbabalik. For now, let's have a very quick commercial. I'll see you again, Sensei.
See you.
looking for a software that will monitor the working hours and output of your employees, whether working from home, working remotely, or in the office? A software that your employees will appreciate as everyone will be pulling their weight? Well, look no further because Workmate is here. Workmate is a time tracking and remote monitoring software with collaboration or project management feature and a planner. Yes, you heard it right, just like your 3-in-1 coffee. So relax, have a sip, and click the link to know more.
Alright, nagbabalik po tayo. Kayo po ay nanonood ng hashtag Myron Kaming Advice. Now on its 5th season, episode 4 na po tayo. And bago natin ibalik si Sensei Ian, once again guys, dapat walang nakaka-miss ng ating mga pinag-uusapan. Once again, we're gonna be talking about how to lead successful sales organization. So nasa Facebook po tayo, Facebook, okay, sa aking Facebook page. Nasa LinkedIn din po tayo sa akin LinkedIn profile, and nasa YouTube din po tayo sa YouTube channel nating Mentor Myron Sta. So once again, share around. Let's make this viral. Let's try to reach as many sales people as we can. All right, once again, ibalik na po natin ang ating guest resource person, si Sensei Ian Santos, to continue talking about leading successful sales organizations. Welcome back, Sensei. Ian, okay?
Hey, Myron.
Alright. Alam mo, talagang gusto ko nang matuto about dito sa talaga how to lead successful sales organizations. Ikaw mismo magpapatuto sa iyong expertise at experience. So, diretsuhin na natin. How do we lead successful sales organizations, Ian?
Sure. Myron, very quick lang before I go to that, no, I just wanna also share, and I think you know this, we talked about this earlier, no, na malaki yung pagkakaiba ng isang magaling na salesperson o ahente na magaling magbenta sa magaling na sales leader.
Tama.
Okay, so hindi lahat ng magagaling magbenta ay nagiging magaling na sales leader. And sometimes it's because the organization does not prepare them well. That's why we need to do training for them, di ba? Like for instance, I have a training program that focuses on, getting good salespeople or great salespeople ready for the next role, which is a leader. It's a very big difference. Now, back to your question, Myron. No, how do you lead successful sales organizations? No, I'll try to simplify it into an acronym. Although alam mo naman, di ganun kadali gawin yon. But yung pagiging magaling sa pagiging ensuring that the sales organization does well, no? So I'm gonna use the acronym SALES para mas makarelate yung mga viewers mo,
Sales,
no?
okay.
SALES, okay? Para mas madali tandaan.
I'm taking down notes as well. Sales, all right.
Yeah, so I'll start with S, no? First is select the right people for the team and the role. Sabi natin kanina, sales is not for everybody. So you need to choose people who are passionate about the craft, very competitive, di ba? Very resilient from failure and rejection. Very important yan. Has high integrity. Kailangan dito talaga yung mga honest people kasi you will not last long in sales pag di ka honest. I've seen a lot of good sales people, get out of their careers because they did something dishonest in the company. And then lastly, kailangan mo ng positive attitude. Kasi the positive attitude will, serve you through the tough times. So that's S. No? Let me know if you have questions before I proceed to the A.
Yeah, actually, meron nga akong question regarding that. So, select the right people. Now, iyan is also easier said than done because may mga tao, sales ka nga ang galing mong magsalita para ibenta sarili mo, para doon sa sales leader is ma-perceive ka as the right people. And then of course, madali din magpasiklab, magpakitang gilas, di ba? So, if you are the one selecting the right people, how do you know that this person is really the right person for your department and not just somebody who's posing?
So yung pag sinabi kong select, of course, yung criteria na sinet ko kanina, sinabi ko, no, that's the minimum, the basic. But to your question, you'll never know hanggat wala dun sa role na yun yung tao
Tama.
Diba? So you'll never know even if you hire, for example, in other departments, no, when you hire somebody from the outside, it's always a gamble. You'll never know how they're gonna perform. But at least if you have those guidelines on ano ba yung hinahanap mo ng mga characteristics, you're gonna have a higher chance of success. No? So,
meron ka rin na-mention kanina, Ian, na kumbaga sabi mo nga, yung mga right people are honest people. Pero meron din ako kilala, Ian, na magaling magbenta, pero alam mo yon, mga ibang techniques yung kanilang ginamit, yung mga under the table pa, yung mga usually against the policy, na okay lang yan kasi may sasabihin pa nila, ganun talaga, kanya-kanyang diskarte yan. Meron kaming kailangang i-meet na quota or target. Pero nagpa-perform, di ba?
Sa akin kasi black and white lang yan, Myron, no? And I've been privileged to work for organizations na walang gray area. Sa akin, kahit gaano kagaling kang ahente, kung dishonest ka at mahuli kita, pasensyahan na lang. Because for me, I don't want someone dishonest on my team. Because that's not part of the values I espouse for the team. No? So, pero tama ka, no? May mga naging successful dyan. But what I would say is, eventually, they will fail. Because people will find style and the way they do things. So
yung baga short-lived success, di ba? I'm not sure if you believe in this, but ako personally, I believe in bad karma. Karma will get to you. What goes around comes around, di ba?
Yeah, and agree. And also, no, sales is sales is based on trust and respect. But trust muna. If that trust cannot be built, and your reputation is not built on a strong foundation, you will eventually fail in your career. So yun ang sa akin.
Ayun. Questions answered, Ian. Yeah. And then the A.
So A is align on the ambition and accountabilities, no? So first the ambition, no? So ako, I like to always challenge my teams, no? Don't go for the goal, go for the stretch goal. Kasi if you try to hit the stretch goal, most likely you'll hit the goal, di ba? And if you just aim for the goal, baka hindi mo abutin. No, so
Right.
always
And
I
yan, sa
always
mga biglang napalaki ang mata, stretch goal, what does that mean? Sa mga hindi naunawaan yung phrase na stretch goal.
a stretch goal is is a goal that's even higher than what the company gives you, or a number that you think is difficult to attain but possible to attain.
So parang
Diba?
go the
So,
extra mile, ano? Kahit ito lang
go
yung
the
goal,
extra
go
mile.
beyond it. Okay.
Oo, kasi if you just plan to hit your target, most likely, the best thing you could do is hit the target. And most likely, baka hindi mo ma-hit yan. I always challenge my team, so just try to go for the record. Alam mo naman sa sales, di ba, we're only as good as our last performance.
Exactly.
Di ba, you may have hit your goal last month, but guess what? February 1 is a new month. Kung ma-hit mo itong January goal mo, erase na yan pagdating ng February 1.
Correct.
Di ba?
Naalala ko tuloy Ian, no, yung quote, no, yung quotable quote na it's okay to reach for the moon. Even if you fail or come short of it, at least you'll land among the stars. Parang ganun yan, di ba? Stretch goal.
Exactly. That's the exact good quote, or best perfect quote for what I said, no. So but you have to align on the ambition kasi kailangan may buy-in ka. Let's say for example, you talk about your stretch target for 2024. Hindi pwedeng as a leader yun lang target mo pero hindi naniniwala yung team mo na kaya yon. Kasi at the end of the day, you're a leader now. Hindi naman ikaw yung magbebenta, yung mga tao mo eh.
Correct.
So you have to be able to motivate them and align them na, uy, kaya natin to. Para lahat sila accountable. That's why you have to align on the ambition and the accountabilities. This is the target.
May naisip nung sinabi mong leader ka na eh. Hindi ka naman na nagbebenta eh. Pero ano masabi mo doon sa mga sales leader na tumutulong din sa tao nila, pati sila imbis na nagpo-focus na lang sa leading the people and managing their priorities. Abay, sumasali din sila sa pag-hit ng quota. Okay lang ba yun?
Okay lang yun kung kailangan. No? And I'll talk more about that. Kasi may mga certain times na if you have, for example, a great salesperson, a very good salesperson, get out of his way. Kung mga sa NBA, di ba? Ano na to, all-star player na to eh. Huwag mo na masyadong pakialaman yan. Tulungan mo yung mga medyo bench players mo na kailangan po mag-improve, di ba?
Yeah, ganda analogy niya. Yeah.
Di ba? Get out of their way. Kasi mahirap yung mag-micromanage, may inis yan, baka umalis pa yan o ma-demotivate.
Oo. Baka sabihin na lang ng tao mo, mas magaling ka pala, boss. Hindi sana ikaw na nagbenta. Di ba?
Oh, di ba? Again, you have to have self-awareness that you're already a leader. You're not a salesperson. But as a sales leader, you have to know who to help and who to let go. Yun yung importante.
And that's the often mistake of some sales leaders. Na-promote ka na. O sabihin natin as low as Bisor. Pero may tendency ka pa rin gawin yung mga dati mong ginagawa. Kaya wala ka ngayong oras o meron man kukunti yung quality time for really leading your people. Tama ba yan?
Correct. Tama yun. Kasi as a leader, you have to think more strategically. You have to think of how the team's gonna hit the number and how you're gonna help them hit the number without meddling in their day-to-day activities. So yun ang importante as a leader. You have to think more strategically, hindi yung tactical selling ka araw-araw.
Yes. Ganda no. Strategic selling. All right. Yep. Wow, really great point so far. Lots of wisdom. Maraming salamat, Ian. How about the L of your sales?
So let's go to L. Very important. No, you have to, as a sales leader, if you want to have a successful sales team or sales organization, you have to learn how to inspire and motivate. And especially during the tough times, no? Kasi madali maging motivational leader pag maganda benta, di ba? Tap on the back. Good job, guys, di ba? Paano kung dito mapasok yung benta? Paano kung puro problema tayo sa customers? Paano kung yung market bagsak? So you have to learn how to celebrate the small wins. If you have weekly meetings like I do, I have weekly meetings. I make sure that, I acknowledge the small victories. Like if somebody opened a small account here and there, or was able to, put up a good display in the store, or was able to negotiate a good price for one of our new products. Don't be a policeman. Sabi nga nila, huwag kang maghanap ng pagkakamali ng mga tao. Maghanap ka ng mga reasons for you to acknowledge and celebrate them. Kasi if they find you inspirational, motivational, even during the tough times, then, you know what? They're gonna be motivated as a team to push through despite all the challenges and obstacles.
Ngayon, I-imagine na experience ko rin, asarap pala maging boss ni Ian. Pero para lang magkaroon ng ideya yung mga nanonood, nakikinig sa atin, ano? Alright, so I get that idea. Celebrate the small wins. Through weekly meetings, etc. Pero what kind of celebrating, like you personally, Ian, are you or were you doing when you were a sales leader?
So first of all, when we hit the month, I make sure I treat them for dinner. No, yun ang aming small way to
Out of pocket ba
celebrate.
yun or company
Hindi
budget?
naman. Well, minsan out of pocket pag medyo lampas na sa budget, but that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, pero di ba, find a way to do some fellowship dinners. It's gonna strengthen camaraderie, di ba? One or two bottles, I really don't drink a lot, but I try to drink with them. Di
Right.
ba?
So, parang nakikisama no?
Isakto lang, di ba? Sometimes it's one way of celebrating is if you have a company-wide meeting, you actually acknowledge them in front of everybody. Oh, si Mentor Myron naka-close ng malaking deal ito. Palakpakan naman natin.
Woo, thank you, boss. Thank you.
Something things like that, no? In my other organizations where I had budget and it was allowed, I actually gave away, for example, if you hit the number, if you're the top cam of the month, so I have a top salesperson of the month na award, no?
Right.
Yun, minsan out of pocket na lang sa akin yun. But, I give them some Sodexo GCs, to. Hey, treat yourself and your wife to a simple dinner or sometimes a spa certificate, di ba? Things like that. No? So
Right.
you can be very
Positive
creative.
reinforcement, no? Talagang ginaganahan silang mas lalong magsumikap o taasan pa kasi may nakukuha sila. There's something in return, di ba? Pero iyan, paano naman? Well, that's for performers, di ba? Kumbaga may positive reinforcement ka sa mga performers. Paano naman dun sa mga middle lang, so-so, tsaka sa mga poor or underperformers? Pag may nagtanong, how do you best inspire or help them get themselves motivated sa mga ganong outliers?
Now that's where we go back to your question kanina, no? Paano kung kailan ka ba dapat makialam or tumulong, di ba? So, doon ka tutulong doon sa mga kailangan ng tulong ng mga team mo na mga either average performers lang or low performers. So what I personally do is I go out with them from time to time with their customers, give them confidence na ganito lang yan, ito kausapin natin, pakilala kita dito, no? Or you give them pointers while you're on the road, no? Punta kayo sa isang customer, nasa traffic kayo. Pwede kayong mag-coaching and mentoring doon sa loob ng kotse while on EDSA or SLEX or C5 So, yun mga teaching moments na kakailanganin as a good sales leader if you wanna motivate everybody. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng lahat ng performers lang mag-perform. Paano pag may mga buwan na due to uncontrollables, let's say for example, nawala ka ng stock sa ganitong produkto o nagka-problema yung collection sa isa mong customer, everybody needs to chip in. And if the medium performers don't contribute, mahirap pa kayong maging successful, no, as a sales organization. Yeah.
Correct. I'm impressed, Ian, kasi talagang I could imagine that you could find quality time for those who need help from you. Kasi may mga kilala akong sales leaders, no, na ang lagi nilang sinasabiin, naku, napakadami ko rin kasing ginagawa Kasi may sarili din akong boss tsaka meron din akong mga sariling admin and task or accountabilities So, di ako makakuha ng ng quality time na samahan sila, personal coaching, mentoring sila. Ano masabi mo doon sa mga sales leaders nating kapwa na ganun?
What I could say or what I could give as a tip is you have to be intentional, no? Hindi naman ibig sabihin na sales leader ka na 5 days a week nasa opisina ka dapat. Di ba? So personally for me, I try at least one day in 5 days na nasa labas ako, either with the customer or with someone from my team. Kasi that's also a way for me to find out what's going on Ano ba yung problema nila? How I can help them? What's the problem with the customer? And if you need to mentor somebody. But you have to be intentional in putting that or blocking off that time from your calendar as a sales leader. Otherwise, kakainin ka ng mga meetings kasi alam mo naman sa companies, organization, pag nakita nilang may butas yung kalendaryo mo, imbitahin natin si Ian, libre pa siya.
Exactly.
So I personally block off one day, for example, block off for field work. And then yung field work agenda niya, nasa akin yung sino kakausapin ko or sino sasamahan ko sa labas.
That's the best answer I've heard talaga. You be intentional. Intentional mong bigyan ng oras. Hindi yung para nangyayari talagang sisingit lang sila sa oras mo. Kasi nga, dami kang meeting, etc. May boss ka rin, etc. Wonderful. Right. Ian, how about ang E ng sales?
Okay, so E, ito medyo mahirap to. You have to earn their trust and respect and confidence. No? Kasi kahit ilagay ka na as a sales leader and you have the nice title, if you don't get the people's trust and confidence, wala rin mangyayari. Balik ko ulit sa coaching sa NBA, di ba? Kahit pag superstar player ka, hindi naman believe sa coach, di ba? Mayroon lang isang coach ang medyo na fire lately. Hindi niya nakuha yung trust ng team niya. Now, how do you do that? Of course, you have to be firm with the policies and guidelines of the company, but you also have to be fair, no? Wala dapat favoritism. In my experience, no, a lot of marami akong leaders na nakita nagkaroon ng favoritism na inis yung mga star player nila, lumipat na kumpanya kasi iba yung treatment. At the end of the day, we're all human beings with different titles, diba? You have to treat everybody the same way. Ibig sabihin is walang personalan, walang favoritism, diba? So and that way you're gonna earn their confidence and trust na, oy, my boss here, my leader is looking after my welfare. You have to be there to help them take away as a leader kasi you have to take out the obstacles and help them succeed. So if they don't see you doing that, pinapabayaan mo lang sila, di ba? May mga traditional leaders to. Auto-target mo, bahala ka na dyan, kaya mo na yan, kaya ka na nandyan. Diba? May mga ganyan. Hindi ganun As a leader, you're there to help them hit the target, especially if they're having a hard time.
Yes.
So, that's my
Meron
point.
ka sinabi, Ian, na I need you to expound on, kasi madaming nahihirapan dyan Kasi narinig ko sa'yo kanina, you have to be firm with the policies but be fair at the same time. Minsan kasi yung being, kumbaga there's a thin line between being firm with the policies and being too pro-company and anti-employees. How do you be firm with the policies na hindi ka naman looking and sounding like antagonizing your very own people? And parang hindi ang dating sa kanila, sinasabi mo lang yan kasi syempre you're serving the interest of the company. Na kumbaga hindi mawawala yung maramdaman, makita nila may malasakit ka pa rin sila kasi parang anak mo sila di ba? Sa loob ng sales department.
Yep. Doon kasi papasok yung leadership by example, no? Kasi you could be a good talker, you could be a good speaker, pero if they see you not doing what you're saying, then meron agad disconnect, di ba? So first of all, you have to do what you say and say what you do on the other hand, no? Also, if you, for example, kailangan mong pagalitan or i-reprimand or bigyan ng suspension, for example, isang tao, you have to explain to them why. Diba? I'm not doing this personally, but alam mo naman, ito yung polisiya natin, ito yung direction ng kumpanya. I hope you understand. But take this as a learning. Diba? Sabi mo kanina, we learn from our failures so we could succeed. Diba? So you have to talk to them as people, not just as a subordinate and as a boss. Put yourself in their shoes kasi before naman nando ka sa shoes nila, 'di ba? Ahente ka. So you know how they're feeling, 'di ba? But so the best sales leaders I know don't never forget that they once were salespeople. And they could relate to them even though nasa taas na sila.
Correct. Yan, meron akong isa pang gusto itanong sa iyo saan ka may preference over? Yung sales leader na tough love or yung sales leader na masyadong compassionate? Ano ba ang mas nag-work sa mga gustong maging mas effective na sales leader?
Ang sagot ko dyan, Mentor Myron, neither.
Neither.
Neither. I would
masyadong mabait. Okay.
Ako ang leadership style ko sa gitna ng sinabi mo You know, sort of tough love pero sort of rin, di ba? A lot of empathy, a lot of understanding. But they know that when you have to be tough, you're gonna be tough. Alam nila na hindi ka nila kaya paikutin. Kasi once na nakikita nila, kaya ko lusutan tong si Boss Ian, patay na, di ba? Magkakaroon ng this comfort or this engagement sa rest of your team. Yun yung sinasabi ko rin na be firm but fair, di ba? They know that you're firm, strict, but they also know that, hindi ka naman yung parang pusong bato na traditional boss na puro lang utos at galit. That's not gonna work, especially with the new generation, starting with the millennials. It's a different generation, yun lang masabi ko. And you have to change your, be flexible with your leadership style, especially if you're a boomer or a Gen Xer.
There you go. And before we go to the last S of Sensei Ian, remind lang natin so yun narinig nyo kay Ian na dapat is yung hanapin mo yung gitna. Huwag naman masyadong forceful, strong ang personality, huwag din masyadong mabait. Kasi numbers yan numbers yung sales So kailangan pa rin nating magpakita ng resulta. Otherwise, magsasara yung kumpanya. Hindi kikita yung kumpanya. Lifeblood nga, tama ba yan?
Exactly. At the end of the day, you have to deliver the number.
That's correct. And last but not least, Ian, how about yung S? Para makumpleto yung sales acronym natin.
So this S is probably the most important dun sa SALES, no? You have to sincerely care for your people, no? What do I mean by that, no? I mentioned earlier, everybody's, we're all equals. We're all human beings. Like, take away our titles, etc. No? You have to treat them as human beings, di ba? Try to ako, I personally try to maintain or at least attempt to give them a good mental wellness, no, physical wellness and emotional wellness. How do I do that, no? I try not to bother them on weekends, number one. And I think if you talk to
Work-life balance talaga, no?
if you talk to many of my former colleagues in my team, they would probably say yes. Ian rarely calls us, unless the company is on fire or the house is on fire, ika nga. But you'll never, they're never gonna get a text message from me or a call or an email on weekends, even after office hours, unless it's super important. And most especially pag naka-VL yung mga team nyo, huwag nyo nang guluhin. Hayaan nyo naman magpahinga yung tao. No?
BL nga no? Tapos, kaya mas maganda patay na lang yung cellphone pag nag-BL para hindi kulitin ni boss.
Exactly. And you can do this also by trying to understand their personal situation. No? Hindi naman ibig sabihin makichismis ka o marites ano nangyayari sa buhay nila. But if you know what's happening in their personal life, let's say for example, you have a sales employee who's having a difficult pregnancy. So you have to know that kasi alam mo na yung huwag mo masyado i-pressure na kailangan sumama ka sa ganitong mga meeting lagi, etc. You have to empathize and understand their personal situation so you can maximize their work performance. Correct. Because if you just know them professionally, you don't know what's happening in their personal life, you can never know how to motivate or inspire them or understand their situation. And that's very key. It's very difficult, but that's very key if you want to lead a successful sales organization.
Wow, power. Solid tong sales na to. Kaya talagang, Ian, ayan, no? Talagang ni-note down ko rin eh. Kumbaga, if I'm gonna sum it up to a slogan, parang results-driven, pero may malasakit. Tama ba yan?
Yun, ganda yan
Ganda yan, di ba? Results-driven pero may malasakit. Naku, patapos na tayo. Sensei Ian, 2 minuto na lang. Kaya sa pagkakataong ito, magpapasalamat na kami sa iyo. Salamat kasi alam kong busy ka. Pero kumbaga, pinagbigyan mo kami na makakwentuhan ka namin ng 1 oras para maraming mga sales leaders out there mag-correct, mag-improve, mag-level up ang kanilang sales leadership and management competencies. So, Ian, meron ka ba mga gustong i-promote na libro, event, etc.? Go ahead, this is your chance.
Now, first of all, thank you, Mentor Myron, for inviting me. No? Alam ko, we scheduled this a long time ago, but sabi ko, we need to be here in this session. Kaya hindi tayo naka-attend ng top 100 kanina dahil medyo nag-prepare tayo
next time para magkita naman.
Pasensya na sa mga organized ng top 100 na gathering kanina. No?
Yes po, bawi kami susunod.
Sa susunod na lang, oo. I'd like to invite people who are watching to connect with me on LinkedIn. No, that's where I'm most, active. Alam mo naman sa LinkedIn community tayo, no. Hopefully, connect with me there. And if you have, questions on sales leadership, please drop me a note. If I can help you with some consulting work or training as well, let me know. Other than that, I'd like to thank you again, Myron. All the best on your. Alam ko marami kang mga endeavors and companies. Please keep in touch, bro. Keep in touch.
Yes, let's keep in touch. Alam ko marami pa tayong magiging collaboration.
Yun.
Iyan, hindi ko na mispronounce yun. Kasi when I collaborate, right, I collaborate with love. Kaya collaboration.
Nice.
Okay, muli guys, ating pong napanood at napakinggan si Sensei Ian Santos, the Managing Consultant of IMS Learning and Consulting. Mayroon kaming advice on how to lead successful sales organizations. Bigyan natin si Ian ng masigabong balakpakan. Once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, Ian, and see you again. Bye.
See you, bro. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so ayan guys, grabe, sobrang power, sobrang solid si Sensei Ian Santos. And sana no, yung inyong mga nakuhang wisdom mula sa kanya ay i-apply natin. At sigurado kung ano man yung mga higher goals or more challenging, sabi nga stretch goals sa 2024, feeling ko, well, hindi naman easy, pero magiging less difficult or less complicated yan pag in-apply nyo yung sales. O, isa-isahin natin select the right people, align on the ambition accountabilities, learn how to inspire and motivate, earn their trust, confidence, and sincerely care for your people. Muli, ito po ang inyong lingkod, Mentor Myron Sta, at kita-kita po tayo sa susunod na episode next week, Saturday, same time, same locations. Okay, and unfortunately, I won't be able to give you a preview kung sino yung ating magiging guest, pero abangan niyo po siya. Alright? So sana natuto po kayo at masasabi nating makakatulong kayo ng mahimbing at maganda ang simula ng inyong weekend sa ating hashtag Myron Kaming Advice. So sa susunod po muli, sa gabing ito, magpapaalam muna tayo. Bye!